So I want to start this discussion because so a lot of times with all the hype of the new season stuff and all that, it's not a big deal for this video basically. Um, I'm gonna call it some comparisons. Okay, so it's almost dead code to me. It's like I feel bad in a way for the development team that take all the heat for the things that they do in this game. And I wanted to do some comparisons. Like, so Division 1, you went through the mission, you went through the storyline, you did the missions, okay? When you completed the missions, the only versions that you got was harder missions. Same missions, but harder. As far as like, not only going through the world tiers with your gear score, but also getting to, hard, challenging, and even legendary. And the mechanics changed slightly as they went through, but the enemy types were the same. The missions technically were the same. Whereas with this game, you go through the storyline with one set of missions, and then when the Black Tusk invade, now you have a different type of mission. So now you have a different enemy type, and it actually transforms the mission to be something different. So there's a replayability in that aspect of it, okay? Then once you finish in Div 1, once you finish the main mission, the main story, you end up with unlocking Survival, which is a game mode that people play repeatedly. And so I view Survival in some ways what Descent is trying to be. And I hear people complain, like, I don't enjoy Descent, but it's not because I think I've played through Descent probably 3 or 4 times. I don't like Descent because it's not gear based. It's skills based. Not skills in the player, but the skills that you unlock as you play. I don't enjoy that as much as Survival. Because Survival, you create a build as you go through the game with gear to survive at the end with, when you take on the hunter or even other players. Where Descent is completely rolls from skills, which I think is kind of people call it a roguelike, and I think it's a roguelike, but to me, it's a poorly done roguelike. Like I really feel that the enemy should drop gear, and then at the end of that little mission, that's when the boon should come up where you pick your skill. I think they dropped the ball on that, but that's my own opinion. But I'm doing a comparison because I hear people say all the time, well, I just don't like Descent. It doesn't have replayability. And it's like, well, I view it as the same as Survival, but I think the differences in the gear is the Survival part of it. And then I look at like the incursions that you had in Div 1, you could replay them all the time. If you got really good, you could solo them, but you could put together a 4-person team and do that. We have one incursion in this game, and I haven't even attempted to try to get into it. Which, and we have raids in this game, but the raids have gotten to the point where people, I watched a video the other day where 3 people did dark hours, so even raids have kind of lost their luster, I should say, and then when you get back to the replayability of it, you have Underground in Div 1, which to me, they tried to replicate with Summit. Summit is to me, it's a failed version of Underground. Like when I was playing Div 1, I never really got sick of playing the Underground. My new character that I have hasn't quite got to the Underground, but I still enjoyed the Underground. And it's similar to Summit, where it's only 5 maps, more or less flipped every mission. It's basically the same thing over and over, but there's that little bit of the hunter popping up, which I understand they've tried to replicate it somewhat with rogues, Rogues aren't nearly as strong as the hunters in one. Because I mean, you can easily take 2 rogues down, where in Div 1 for a while it took a lot to be able to figure out how to take down the hunters. Then when you go into the DZ, you have one big DZ in Division 1. So if you're in if anyone is in DZ, they're in together type of thing. Granted, I know there's server switches and all that stuff, but when you go into DZ, sorry, you're always going to have people in there because there's only one, regardless of what server you're on. Where on this game, I mean, I've spent hours in one of the DZs, never seen another player. I mean, I've been able to go clear out all the points in the DZ and extract 2 or 3 times, and never once did I have to worry about anybody coming and getting my stuff. And I was using one of my skill pills, but so it's like the replayability aspect of it. I think Div 1 has things like resistance, right? I've spent hours playing resistance, and it's the same thing over and over, but it has a great replayability in a token where when you unlock the box, you get gear. And I constitute Countdown with the resistance. I feel like Countdown is more or less the resistance. They don't drop the coins like resistance does to gather the boxes, but I kind of feel like Countdown kind of has a little bit of that structure. The one that really confuses me with the division, there's two mission architects basically that I really don't understand, because there's no replayability at all, and that's the classifieds. Classifieds are cool. They're little puzzles. Each one has its own little puzzle, and you play through and figure stuff out. But once you play it, you're done. There's a boss drop and all that stuff, but there's no incentive to go back. You know what I mean? Once you get the trophy and the collectibles, there's really no point in going back to it. So it's like I view that as, why would the developers make something that you don't go back to, right? I mean, why wouldn't they have? So I'm kind of hoping in a way with the seasons changing and all that stuff, that maybe they do something with classifieds to where you have incentive to go back into the classifieds and do something. It's the same with Kinley College. I don't understand why Kinley College is locked. I don't understand why you can't always play Kinley College. But I also view Kinley College as kind of a survival type thing, where it's its own little piece, and you kind of jump in and do whatever. And it's like the little subtleties with that. It's like I'm trying to understand myself, how I have 2,500 hours in Division 1 compared to the 1,500 hours I have in Division 2. I said I have 4 characters in Division 1 on one account. I actually have 5, because one of them, I had 4 characters. A friend wanted to play, so I deleted a character and started over, and now that character is basically at the end where they're ready to go into the underground and that kind of stuff, but they're not quite there yet. And I just started a new account so that I could play a new character with a fresh thing, and I'm playing through that. And it's like I got 2,500 hours into that game. In this game, I have, where am I here? I have 2 characters, right? So if I hit this, I have my first character, which I stopped playing for some reason once I completed. So I have this character here. He's my first character, right? He's got 13 days, 7 hours. I played him, got through level 40, started a new character, kind of like the way this one here looked instead. And I got 34 days and 11 hours into him. Then I have my hardcore, which I'm up to level 23. I got a day and an hour into her. I intend on finishing this now that it seems like they got the crash figured out. And then I have this one that basically I just started over. And I'm probably going to delete this one when the season starts so I can start a new character. But for the most part. So it's interesting the amount of replayability that a game like Div 1 didn't have, but yet people are still playing it compared to this one. Like, I don't enjoy Descent, but like I said, that's part of the reason why I don't really enjoy Descent. I played Countdown a few times. Countdown's kind of fun, but after a while it's rinse and repeat. And I understand you use it just to grind gear. I played through Summit a few times to get, to try to get some of the things done. And it's like, I don't really know. I don't know. I don't really enjoy Summit. And it's weird because it could be fun, I think. But some of the stuff that you got to do, like it's interesting that like anytime you go and you do, like if I go in with my skill build, I'm constantly getting EMP crap, so it's like, it's kind of gearing towards it. I haven't played Kinley in a while. Now that it's open, who knows, I might play it. Because I think it's one of them game modes that should be open all the time. I mean, why shut a game mode off unless it's for server space? I don't know. But I don't know. I get a little confused sometimes with some of the comments that people make. And I wonder, why a development team would make a game mode that you only have to play once, and that's these classifieds. They're all over the place. Make them mini incursions. Why not make them mini incursions where you it's worth playing over and over. I mean, not everyone has, like, this one here doesn't have anything. It just got experience. That's it. This one has what? A boss loot drop. It has a boss loot drop. So I mean, some of them have things, but once you've grabbed the collectibles and trophies, why do you ever go back to them? I'd be curious to know how many times people have played through. But basically, I'm looking right now at just bringing up my season level, not season level, but my battle pass level, and just playing the game, because they're making, they're putting in the effort to do great things or to try to do great things, and I want to capitalize on that. I want to log in so they can see that I've logged in, and add to the player count to let them know that they should just keep going with stuff. I don't know. I don't have any opinion on the season because I don't know what it's going to be like. I'm also looking at like projects, right? So in Division 1, you got weekly projects, and it was kill 3 named bosses in this area, do this, do that. They have weeklies, the weeklies and dailies, and then you have these weeklies and dailies. These weekly and dailies to me aren't as fun because in the other ones, you basically just had to play the game to get your weeklies and dailies done. Like, you had a couple of missions to run, which this does too, but it didn't make you do things. You had more of a selection of dailies and weeklies to do than what you do here. You don't have as many to do. Anyways, that's all I want to talk about is the replayability, because I find it funny that this game should have more replayability than Division 1, but it doesn't feel like it. So a lot of the stuff that I do, and granted, a lot of that is because I am primarily a solo player. I mean, even though I was involved with one of the biggest clans, I still never really got into a raid. I never got into the incursion. I did a few countdowns, but they're just random, so it's like primarily I've spent my whole time playing this game solo. Division 1, yes, I will admit probably 1,500 hours of that game I played solo. And then 1,000 hours I played with a party of 4 every week. Part of that was because the clan that I was in had a retired military individual. His goal from when he got up in the morning to when he went to bed every night was to help everybody get their dailies done and then end the day with a resistance run or an incursion run, or that's all he did every day. Like if you logged into Discord, at the time it wasn't Discord, it was I want to say it was a Venturillo, but we'd log into Venturillo, he would jump into your channel, he'd say, "You got your dailies done?" And you'd say, "Nope." "Well, let's do them." And then he'd join your game and he'd help you grind through and do whatever you had to do. And that's what clans need. Clans need people like that. I need somebody like that. I want to find a 4 group, 4 people that I can build a rapport with, build a chemistry with, and have a good time playing. And I'm hoping I can do that, because that's what's going to keep me involved in this game. Because I get a tendency where I play for a while by myself, and then once I've done everything I need to do, I disappear, which is why I don't stay in clans very long, because I disappear. Even though I'm playing another UB game, they don't see me on the radar, and then I get a message saying, "Hey, you're inactive, we're going to remove you." So I haven't even bothered trying to get back into one. So anyways, I just want people to play the game, enjoy the game, take everything that the devs are doing, and just try to go with it. You know what I mean? That's all. Stop knocking it. I think a lot of people are fired up, and I don't know. People jump to conclusions, I think, a lot. And there's a lot of stuff out there on YouTube and everything. And it's like, I'm a wait and see kind of guy, like I'm not a fan of Diablo seasons. I'm hoping they don't go in that direction, but I would like to see them do something. Something needs to be done. And why not do a little trial and error? You know what I mean? So anyways, take care. Enjoy any game you're playing. Cut the devs some slack, because they're working on stuff and they're doing the best they can with what they have, trying to keep us all engaged on a game that, ended after Fallout. So anyways, take care. Enjoy your week. Thanks for watching. Hit the like, subscribe. It helps me out. If I can get to 100, I'll be pretty excited. So thank you. Take care.